Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 56 of the Sim Racing Show. Put 56 in the comments. This week, Thrustmaster has done something actually incredible because for the first time in 2025, Thrustmaster is handing out discount codes, and I've got one of the best deals you'll find. So big savings, no strings attached, everything coming in a second. But F125 is also finally out. New handling model, My Team revamp, laser scan Suzuka, even Silverstone in reverse, and the Brad Pitt car. But is it an evolution of F124? We'll cover that. Rennsport just dropped a bombshell. It's coming to the console, PS5, Xbox, crossplay from day one. And I've just got back from SimLab HQ in the Netherlands. Spent the full day with the CEO of SimLab. Secret prototypes, cockpit upgrades, serious innovation, even a blind test I did. And we drove around in his racing car. Pretty crazy. And Revosim as well in the hardware world. They've gone fully mad. Hybrid shifter, 150 kg handbrake, modular rim prototypes. You don't even need a rig to run their hardware. Lamborghini are back in the game. See the Lamborghini sensor wheel behind me. They're coming out with a new wheel with Moza, and Marcos LM600 is bringing 90s GT heat to Project Motor Racing. Electro Casino is coming to test from Unlimited. Japanese Driftmaster, we'll talk about it. So much stuff coming, but there's massive news in the sim racing space because so many of you asked me about Logitech and Thrustmaster, and for the first time this year, Thrustmaster are giving out discount codes for the favorite T598 bundle. I've got one of the highest tier ones. It's 10% off, so it's about $50 off full price. So that is Kireth discount. If you're already decided you want to buy one, use Kireth discount at checkout or give yourself a 10% off. But bear in mind, there's no load cells for the T598 bundle. Do not buy this bundle if you're expecting load cells. It's cheaper than Logitech G Pro. It's weaker than the Logitech G Pro. It doesn't have the pedals that are as good as Logitech G Pro. So lots to consider there. Now let's move on to F125 because it's finally out and I'll be jumping into it myself later today in virtual reality, which I'm really interested to see. There is what they're calling a new handling model, revamp My Team, where you're managing the team principal and two drivers, and a new Breaking Point story with all the characters returning for that kind of Drive to Survive style drama. They've also added laser scan tracks like Suzuka and Imola, reversed layouts at Silverstone and some more, which is chaos, and the Apex GP stuff from the movie is coming. The consensus seems to be, including people who are no doubt shilling it for money and people who are giving it honest opinions, the handling looks to be better than F124, more predictable, especially on controller, and let's be honest, most people are going to be playing it on controller. However, I'm going to be playing it on the rig later on that beastly system there, and I'll let you know how it holds up on the wheel completely honestly. To put in the comments what you want me to cover specifically. Now, another big platform move in sim racing is Rennsport officially coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox in September. That surprised me. I thought it would take a little bit longer than that, but they partnered with a Polish studio, Teon, to do the port, and there should be cross-platform multiplayer with day one, which is really bold, because if they're going to realize their vision of doing daily races kind of on console, or hang on, now you have crossplay between, I believe, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. So Rennsport definitely still feels early. Lots of issues that people are saying that I've covered on the channel. I did get to go to Nacon HQ, who are publishing the game in Paris last week, and interview Rennsport, and I asked them your questions, basically, very directly, literally had questions in front of me. So that video is coming soon. Now the esports is kind of, I think, behind them. I'm really interested to see how they focus now on console, because that's more, I would say, are kind of where we exist, right? More like the console or the PC than, say, like the ultra-level esports. And also, while I was in Paris last week, I also saw Revosim, who are launching a load of new hardware. They've got a new shifter, clutch, handbrake, open wheel prototype. The shifter goes from H pattern to sequential. It also kind of clamps on your desk. The handbrake as well. And I saw the direct drive. And it looks to be, let's be honest, a bit of a marry between the Fanatec style and the Moza quick release. So kind of taking the best bits from what they see in the market maybe. That's meant to come out in October 2025, apart from the open wheel rim, which is still a prototype. So they say it's going to be like a modular ecosystem. It is only PC for now, which I think is disappointing. I want to see that on console. Fingers crossed it's going to come out on console. I interviewed their head of product, got to ask him everything about everything, all the stupid questions, all the obvious questions that might not seem so obvious. I got to ask him that video coming out as well. And I've just come back from SimLab HQ in the Netherlands, where I spent a full day with Richard, the CEO, and there's some very exciting stuff on the way. I got hands-on over the weekend with unreleased gear, like properly hands-on, like incredible. I really feel like I know it almost inside out. And when that content comes out, it's going to be very surprising. If you're right at the top end of sim racing, buying the best equipment, this is going to be really relevant for you. So it was super exciting. There'll be some short form coming out first while the long form's edited. But yeah, SimLab are properly cooking. Now, we will get into Moza's new wheel, but before that, I want to say a big thank you to today's sponsor, which is GT Omega. Thank you so much, GT Omega, for sponsoring this video. You can see behind me the inertia bucket seat that I really like using on that rig there. It gives me a nice kind of like really tucked in position when I'm sim racing, especially in VR as well. And to be honest, I don't actually notice it even when I'm moving my headset around. It seems to be that the bucket isn't getting in the way, but your mileage may vary. But if you are looking at getting a sim rig, go to gtomega.com. If you do decide to buy, use my code Kireth5, gives you an extra 5% off. Big thanks to GT Omega, long-time supporter of the channel. Now, Moza turned up at DreamHack Dallas with a new Lamborghini wheel, and I don't have it here. So unlike pretty much every Moza product before, I don't actually have this one. They will send it out to me for review, no doubt, but this has been like a top secret thing with Lamborghini. Now, I did go with Lamborghini to Jerez with the Lamborghini Essenza wheel, and I saw how Lamborghini operate up close, and they don't mess around. Like, their approval process, their standards are extremely high, so this could be a great wheel. And I kind of feel like Moza has gone from this perception of being a kind of cheaper entry into the market, but now they're doing the Essenza wheel that, granted, doesn't have magnetic shifters, but it's still insane. Now they're doing this Revuto. This is the Lamborghini Revuto sim racing wheel that's got leather wrapped. It's got big buttons. It's kind of almost like the opposite of the Essenza, and it might form part of the ultimate kind of sim rig two-wheel setup. The Lamborghini Essenza for your GT and Formula, and then the Revuto for everything else. So it does look pretty interesting. I'll try and get you a review on that as soon as possible. So Roadcraft has just dropped, and this is something we've spoken about before on the Sim Racing Show. It's from the Mud Runner crew. It's all about off-road physics and big, slow, chunky movements. People saying it's really good. It kind of has like this co-op vibe as well. It's not sweaty. The Metacritic, I think at the moment, is about 77, but the player score is 8.8. And my editor said that its handling model may lack hyperrealism, but its physics engine is certainly convincing enough for sim racers to enjoy as a charming aside. So there we go. I'm always really interested in these games that are kind of like a bit of an antidote to spending 12 hours getting punted in Daily Race C. So that could be one of them. Now we're going to move to something a little bit more niche, which is Project Motor Racing. They've revealed another GT2 car. They say it's amazing. I don't get it that much, Project Motor Racing. Like, why are you just living in the past? Like, come on, we want to see like genuine, like real top of the range heritage cars and the latest machinery. In my opinion, I might be wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments, because it's already loaded with all this like kind of like niche-y classic GT and prototype stuff. And there were some question marks over the physics. Jimmy Broadbent put them on blast on Twitter, saying the physics basically didn't look that good, I think is what the inference was. So we'll be keeping a close eye on Project Motor Racing. Now, this one's bizarre because Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is finally adding the in-game casino. Yes, the casino that has been trailed for a long time in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is finally coming in Season 4. And this is interesting because it's an 18-plus game. We're assuming there's going to be some sort of like real gambling involved. So I'm not kind of sure. My editor says that there might be some actual kind of like gambling of in-game credits, maybe cosmetics. So it could have a little bit of an edge to it. And to be honest, we don't kind of do those sort of sponsorships on this channel, for example. But I feel like in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, it needs a bit of an edge to it. Like driving away from the police, having the casino. It needs this kind of grittiness to it, because I think it has the maps now. It has Ibiza as well as Hong Kong. And I think it has the driving physics, to be honest. It has this kind of weighty style. And I think this could be the way to separate it from the behemoth that is Forza Horizon 5, which has a very kind of like kid-friendly festival vibe. So that's my 2 cents on that on the roulette table. Now let's talk about Japanese Driftmaster. It's finally hit the release, and people are saying maybe not quite there yet. They have sent me a code for review. I haven't reviewed it yet myself, but people are saying that they were expecting more content. They're expecting the AI to be better as well. So the developers say more updates are coming. What I might do, if you're interested, is I might interview the developers. So if you're interested in that, let me know your comments and I can get into it. But the big story right now has to be the F1 game, like Formula 125. So much riding on that game, especially because the WRC license has left EA and gone to Nacon. By the way, Nacon seem to be doing so much stuff. I went to Paris, saw all their things. Now we're talking about Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. We're talking about Rennsport. We're talking about Revosim. Talking about WRC. And then they have Endurance Motorsport series as well, which I'll be covering in addition. So Nacon holding on to a lot of the sim racing games at the moment. Interesting to note. But it's been a bit of a varied sim racing show this week. Let me know what you thought of it, and I'll see you next time.